As it's been few days that there has been a heated tension upon the stocks of SBI Card about why it lost its 30% value within few days of listing. Is it a worthy stock or will it provide good returns in the near future and whatnot? Moreover, it's a lot depressing to see the people who themselves claim that the stock was total paisa vasool at the launch of IPO, where every new investor got excited, or should I say motivated, to get their hands into share of it, but now the same people claim that the stock has no future value, which brings a lot of panic to new investor and new market enthusiasts. But today's video is not about complaining about the stocks or complaining about the people who claim that, but it's about finding solution to it and to withstand the present scenario of the SBI Card shareholders. So what's going on, guys? This is Vivek and welcome to my channel. Also to note that I'm not a financial expert or an advisor, but just another market enthusiast and learner just like you. Now, as the stock's value has fell over 30% of its listing price till now, that is about 255 rupees within 1 month. Now, if you were allotted through the IPO and have SBI Cards stocks about 1938 or any of this, then it's better to hold than to sell at a depressing cut of 30%. And one thing you should get over is the naysayers. Now, there may be thousands of people, media, news, who share their opinion or tell you to buy or sell the shares that you may have in your portfolio. But whenever you get to hear such things, just think of it by yourself and give it a research over the fundamental, technical, and the possibility of this share, whether it would grow its value in coming years or not, rather than just taking action over it. Now, the reason why you should hold this stock is simple. As the stock lost its value, not because it was performing badly or it had huge depth, but only due to the present pandemic and the economic slowdown that is taking place all over the world. From which we can see that once the situation is better, the stock will also start to rise. And it's true that not only SBI Cards but many blue chip stocks lost its 30% to 50% of value prior to this condition. So in context to this, we can see that the fall is temporary. Also that the words can be decisive but the numbers can lie. So you can look at the numbers, figures and charts and then decide to hold on to this share for almost 1 year or 2 years from now. Now, talking about the SBI Cards, we know that the company has a good market position over the credit card and is the second largest credit card issuer here in India. Also that we look forward for the great possibility that the credit card will be held by most of us, which means that it has a huge market to offer. Also to consider that our economy is trying to move from saving to spending, as said by our Honorable Finance Minister, which in returns are the facts and cannot be denied. But looking over the present market situation, this may take time, but as we have read and learned about the market crash in the past, as we saw in the Great Depression of 1929 or the global recession in 2008. So there are economic setbacks, but we have always came out of it. So in this too, we will surely come over it. So take this economic slowdown or the market correction to be temporary and do not book loss over it. Moreover, by doing this, we will follow the rule of value investing, which is mentioned in the book, The Intelligent Investor, which shares the idea of investing for a long term. That is by buying and holding good stock for a period of 1 year to more than 10 years to get a good amount of returns in the near future. Now, the second thing what you can do is, if you've got the share at the allotment, that is at the price level of 755 rupees per share, then you can use the rule of dollar cost averaging. Now, the dollar cost averaging means to average the cost amount per share by consistently buying equivalent number of shares at each lower price level. So to understand this, let's say you got an allotment for 19 shares at 755 rupees per share from the IPO that was open. So this would cost you around 14,345 rupees. Now, after few days, you see that the stock price gets corrected by 15%. That is by approximately 113 rupees correction in the price. Now, what you did is you bought 6 shares of it at corrected price, that is 645 rupees. Now, also after few days, you see that there is another correction of 10%, that is 64.1 rupees, which brings the price of share to approximately 576 rupees. And let's say you again bought 6 shares of it. Also after few days, you get to see 14% correction in the stocks, that is 80 rupees correction in the price, which brings the share price at approximately 496 rupees. And again, what you just did is you bought 6 shares of it. Now what you just did is you applied the averaging rule, and what happens here is that you average the cost of each share which you initially bought at 755 rupees by buying consistently good amount of share at each lower price level. So the average value can be calculated by adding total cost of the stocks, that would be 14,345 which you bought at the IPO plus 3846 which you bought at first correction plus 3,456 rupees at second correction and plus 2,976 at third correction, divided by total number of shares, that is 19 plus 6 plus 6 plus 6. So the average value would be approximately 665 rupees, that is 90 rupees lower than the initial value that was 755 rupees, with which you increase your shareholdings and decrease your average cost of the share. Now why do we average is because it lowers the loss, and moreover the current depressed value will be near to the average value, which means it will be easier for the stocks to reach 665 rupees mark than to reach 755 rupees mark, as you saw above. So this is the rule that I have been using myself, and also that you can average out at any lower price level that you may feel like to, although it requires your patience and will to stay invested for longer period of time. But I believe it is beneficial for you to hold and average out rather than selling at such losses. So this was all about what could be done about SBI cards. So if this video was helpful, then don't forget to like, share and subscribe this channel for more such information. Until then, thank you so much. See you in the next video.